Temple here with Q-Force, and we have Mike Perry, one of the co-owners of the company Maxx. And we're going to talk today about the secret problem that most people don't even know about in regard to air conditioning systems. And Mike, you want to open up and just kind of share with us, this problem that is existent but really unheard of for most people?
You bet. No problem. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you having me here today. We're excited to have the product Maxx for all the yellow blue people, and we just know that it solves a lot of things for people in air conditioning systems. What goes on in air conditioning systems is many times the air conditioning is fouled in the system, is what they call it. Now, this isn't us saying it. It's actually a group of engineers from an engineering group called ASHRAE. Now, ASHRAE stands for the American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Engineers. There's about 5,000 of those around the country that belong to this organization, and they say that every single air conditioner fouls from time to time. And so it starts off when it's brand new, and it continues to foul throughout the lifespan. Not time to, I mentioned time to time, but it fouls all the time is what I meant to say. Now, fouling occurs in the system because oil is automatically transferred through the refrigerant. It's in with the refrigerant, and it coats the inside of the coils. And air conditioners work by exchanging heat. That's how they work. Mm-hmm. And when this oil gets coated on the coils, it actually fouls the system, and it prevents that heat transfer from occurring. So really, it just costs people more money every single day to run their air conditioner because they're not producing as cold air as they possibly can.
Okay. So what you're talking about are the squiggly coil things that are on the air conditioner that everybody sees. Is that right? Or what tell me physically, or draw a picture in my mind of what you're talking about as far as those coils.
I've got some stuff I can share on the screen here too that would help dramatically. Okay. Let me just share my screen here.
Okay.
And I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Okay. That'd be great. Yeah, because I'm a visual learner, and really helps a lot if we can kind of see what you're talking about.
Well, here is actually a PowerPoint that we use to kind of explain the situation. But right now, this is the ASHRAE bulletin that they released. Actually, it says that every air conditioning unit loses 7% efficiency the first year, and wow. they in operation, and they lose 5% the second year, and 2% every additional year, up to a grand total of 30 to 40% loss in efficiency. Man. And so it's costing people money, and we know it's a problem. And we're trying to, these ASHRAE engineers say it happens on every system. It doesn't matter if you have a car, a house, a tractor trailer, a apartment building, a high-rise condo, a hospital. All air conditioners perform this way.
Wow.
Now, the fouling is just like a spark plug fouls. If you have the oil coating on a spark plug there, as you see in the picture, is this just totally doesn't work very well. It doesn't transfer the spark. Mm-hmm. And what we're doing in air conditioners, a similar thing occurs, because here's a picture of an outside condensing unit.
Oh, okay.
Right there. You see all the metal coils running through there. It's all copper. Now then you got copper line sets that go to the air handler, and it goes through in between the two. And refrigerant runs through all these lines, and it just totally degrades as the system runs longer and longer. So that's where we're losing the efficiency.
Okay.
Just like a spark plug. Now there's no really way to clean those until Maxx came along. We just lived with that scenario. But the solution is Maxx, because what it does, it goes in there and cleans that oil off of all those coils.
Wow. So it's cleaning the inside of the coil, And does it ever reattach? Will the oil ever reattach to it, or what's the?
No, as you can see in the picture here that I just brought up, that the Blue Maxx actually attaches to the inside of the coils, and it doesn't allow the oil to re-stick like it is in this picture.
Oh,
so it takes this oil that's here and it sends it back into the flow of the refrigerant where it belongs, because you have to lubricate parts in the system, and it needs that oil in there. But now we don't have the unintended consequence of blocking that heat transfer that has to occur through the copper coils.
so just that oil building up on the inside can add up to a 40% loss of efficiency.
Yeah, and what that means to the average homeowner is this, or business owner. It means their air conditioner has to run longer to hit their target temperature on their thermostat.
Mm-hmm.
And if it runs longer, guess what? That's just costing them more and more money.
Well, yeah.
And wearing out the equipment faster. So we know that we can affect those things by changing some of those things that we can do with Blue Maxx.
So this has got a lot of applications. I mean, you've mentioned a lot of different types of businesses and homes and stuff like that. Would this work on a refrigeration truck?
Definitely. It doesn't matter what type of air conditioning system it is, because they all work on the same principle of transferring and expelling heat out of the system.
What about heat pumps? What about heat pumps? Up in Iowa, we have a lot of people with heat pumps.
Heat pumps, it works amazing on too, because it'll actually produce warmer air in the wintertime when you've got the heat pump in the heat mode.
Wow.
What we see on average is between 3 and 9 degrees, either colder in the summer or warmer in the winter with the heat pump. Okay. So if you have a heat pump scenario, it pays for itself really twice as fast.
No, I mean, this is a pretty big deal. I mean, this is sounds like a game-changing, technology. Have you had any resistance from, heating and cooling people? I mean, what's been the story?
There's two types of air conditioning companies, and they are out there promoting their change out. They want to sell you a new product. They want to sell you a new air conditioner. So there's some people that believe this technology is incredible and it helps the system to give it longevity. The only pushback we get is if you run into an HVAC company that says, I'd rather sell somebody a new unit than extend the life of the one they have.
So the ones that pretty much have if they have a bad motive, and there's really not altruistic. I mean, it's not, they're not trying to think in terms of what's best for the customer. If they're just thinking about their own pocketbook, then they don't embrace this. But if they're really caring about what's best for the customer, they're taking hold of this and they're selling it. So is there any? I mean, it sounds like to me, it changes temperature, obviously saves energy. Is there any benefit to this as far as preventative maintenance or?
Definitely, and that's where the HVAC companies will buy into this. A lot of times, HVAC companies will have to go out and run warranty calls on TX valves that foul. Now, a TX valve in an air conditioner is just the metering device that sprays the refrigerant out into the system, and it's how the mechanics work.
Okay.
Now, what happens on those metering devices is sometimes they get plugged up with oil, and so especially with the newer types of refrigerants out there like 410A, it has actually been proven to be more of a problem with the polyester oils that are in that system. They have a tendency to coagulate or stick more together, and it plugs up those little valves. Well, an HVAC company has to go out sometimes within the first year or two of putting this in. It's still under warranty. They have to extract all the refrigerant out. They have to go in and fix that TX valve or replace it, and then load all the refrigerant back in the system. It takes them a long time to do that, like a half a day, because you can't extract or put the refrigerant in too fast. And so it takes a lot of time, and they're getting a basic warranty call from the manufacturer. And so they may be getting paid $75 or $100 to go spend a half a day.
No, that's not very profitable then, is it, for them to do that? I don't think they probably enjoy that. very
No,
much.
and then the homeowners aren't happy because they're actually not getting to use their air conditioner. It goes off in the middle of the night or during the day when it's really hot, and they have to have these service calls. So what happens when the Blue Max goes in the system, it actually prevents that coagulation from building up on those TX valves, because it actually will flow through there. It'll get attached to the TX valves. It'll let enough lubrication to make the system work, but it won't let it coagulate. And so it's a huge maintenance saver for the HVAC companies, but also for the homeowner. If they're out of warranty, sometimes if they have to go in and repair a TX valve or a reversing valve in a heat pump, they'll spend anywhere from $600 to possibly $1,100 to fix that.
Wow.
And so they have to spend quite a bit of money there.
Wow. So as far as putting this into a refrigeration system, is it fairly simple? Can anybody do this, or what do you need to have for qualifications to do this?
Yes, what we ask people to do and what you need to have is your EPA certification. It's called a 608 certification. That gives you the ability to handle refrigerant, handle air conditioners by adding refrigerant, things like that. It's a very, very simple installation, though. It's on a fluid pump that you can go on YouTube and see how we install it. But it's a very, very, very simple installation. It's about a 5-minute installation. The key thing you want to remember in installation process is, first of all, we don't want any moisture. So if it's raining or there's snow around the ports in the system, well, you want to be really, really careful, because if moisture gets introduced to the Blue Max or the system, it actually can create acid in the system, and we don't want that to happen. It'll destroy things.
Wow.
So we want to keep moisture out. So if you're in a downpour of rain, just probably install it when it's not raining, or have some good shelter so you're not getting a lot of moisture on you.
Yeah, I would think that would be pretty critical. So we're talking about money. We're talking about preventative maintenance and these good business decisions, stuff like that. But really, ultimately, what I'm thinking in the back of my mind is, we have all these people that are using air conditioners that are running at a 30% deficit as far as efficiency. What's that got to be doing to our environment? They're running when they don't need to be,
Exactly. It's huge. I mean, we're using electricity. We're costing people money. It's a big thing that we can help solve. We've done testing on this product. It's been around for about 12 years. We've done so much testing on this product and data logging, and we're always doing more testing that's coming forth, and it works. We know for a fact that once you install Blue Max in a system, it's going to reduce the runtime by producing colder air. Mm-hmm. And that is so exciting, because people are going to save money, number one. They're going to extend the life of their system, and then prevent costly maintenance things to the system too. The cost.
Wow. Okay, so if you guys put this into a system, let's say it's 4:30 in the afternoon, you put this into a system at 4:30, how long does it take to get through the system and work like it's supposed to?
You want to install it when the system's running, because then it circulates through right away. It only takes a few minutes to get through the system, but I say by the time you check your temperatures, you install the product, you go clean up, put your stuff away, come back in. A lot of times you'll see a reaction in the temperature in as little as 10 or 15 minutes.
Wow.
Sometimes it will, on longer, older systems, sometimes it takes a little longer to work that oil off. And we've seen it go as long as about 12, 14 hours to get the temperature drops.
Because they just have so much sludge, if I can use that word, so much buildup on the inside of the coil that it just takes a long time to get it removed off of there, and then get that heat displacement going again through the coil like it's supposed to be. I see.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the other thing I wanted to mention was on installation is you want to make sure we don't introduce air to the system. So on your pump, you want to make sure it's inverted, that the fluid's filled in the line, You just don't want to introduce air into the system. That's critical too on the installation.
It kind of, when you talk about it and you describe it, it's almost like when somebody's given an IV, when it sounds like that, where you don't want air, you don't want any other materials to get introduced in that system. That's like a human body that you're putting that into, and it's got to be pure when it gets put in there. So,
yeah, and I tell our guys to treat the Blue Maxx and keep it really, really clean too. You're working out in the side of the house and there may be grass clippings and dirt and spider webs and everything. Just try to keep the bottle super clean, the Blue Maxx clean. If you do get some debris down in it, you can filter it out with cheesecloth. You can filter it out with filtering cones and things, but you just don't want to have any debris in that either.
One last question before we finish up here. If somebody is in a position where they just bought their air conditioner and it's brand new, would it still be of a benefit to put this in if it's a brand new air conditioner?
It works in anything, and the sooner you can get it in, the more money you're going to save. Now, we've tested this in brand new 23 seared system. That's about as high as efficiency as you can get in a system. Brand new, out of the box. We've tested it, dropped the temperature in that system 3 degrees on output temperature. So
you actually had a brand new air conditioning system that you just got out of the box, put it in there. You tested it before and after, and it dropped to 3 degrees. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Another thing I was thinking of when you were talking is that, I think in terms of my car, if your car, you got to change the oil in your car. I have never changed the oil in my air conditioner before in my life. So, it's kind of like that, isn't it?
Well, it's a system that when we put the Blue Maxx in too, it's a one-time treatment. That's the thing is, you can be so confident going to your homeowners and business people saying, look, I'm not going to come back here and keep having to do this every year. This is just a treatment that works on a micro level that will just make the system work so much better. It's a micro coating that goes in, but it stays there because it's so highly polarized to attract to metal. That's what forces and sticks it to the metal. So you could actually lose all your refrigerant in the system by a leak, and the Blue Maxx is still going to be there. It's not going to go away.
Wow.
So that's great too.
Wow. Yeah. So this is a permanent solution. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a one-time expense for the homeowner or business owner.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate you joining us today, and we're going to share this with a lot of people, and I'm confident that we can help make a difference. Go ahead.
A couple things I want to mention is a lot of times people might say, does this void my warranty on the system? It does not void the warranty on any system. It's actually been it falls under the Magnuson and Moss Act, and we've got that documentation that we can share with your people. It does not hurt the system at all. It's never been proven to hurt the system, and they can't legally void any warranties.
I see.
Because it's been through that court decision with the Supreme Court, and it's called the Magnuson and Moss Act.
Okay. Okay.
Just be aware it's super safe for the environment and also for your air conditioners.
Okay. Very good. Good to know. Well, thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate you joining us today.
And again,